Hello ladies and gentlemen, Accentor here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be discussing the 787 potential future rework. Now, it's a bit of a controversial topic in the comment sections as of lately, so I thought it's something I should cover in a video, and hopefully you'll agree with me and appreciate that. So we're going to hop over to, let's go to San Francisco for today's video. And so the 787, it's been in flight for quite a long time. We'll have a look. August 2016 was the last time this aircraft was updated. So it's what, 6 years old, maybe 6-7 years, which is quite a long time when we think about aircraft in infinite flight. So it's not the newest aircraft we have, but it's still relatively new, I reckon, in comparison to stuff like the A340, A380, 747, which are obviously a long way behind the 787, as you'll see in a minute. Now, it turns out quite a few people actually want a 787 rework, and I didn't think the numbers would be as high as they currently are. So we're just going to bonk down the volume, like the quality, like I usually do, and I'm going to bonk that audio down as well. Otherwise it's just a bit awkward to hear me, I think. So I don't think the quality on the exterior liveries is actually that bad with the aircraft. I'm quite content with it. I've seen people complaining about it, but in comparison to the 767, A340, 747, A380, and a few other aircraft, I don't think it's as bad as them. Or, well, nowhere near as bad, at least anyway, this aircraft. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's quite good. So we'll just have a look. Just, like, you can see the quality in them. It's okay. I mean, when you get down to the engines as well, I mean, the engines there are okay. The gear it's adequate. I mean, it could be a lot better up here. So where the gear goes up, that could be obviously quite a lot better. So there could be a lot more detail on the gear. I'd imagine it's the same here. Is there a... Oh, no, so there is somewhere where the gear goes up into here. But again, it is lacking a lot of detail. Now, it also be worth noting that the aircraft also has no interior. It's literally a not even a black void, it's clear, so there is no interior, and we'll just join the cargo stuff as well here, and you'll see that the cargo doors do in fact not open, unfortunately. So that, again, another thing worth noting, the cargo doors don't open at all on this aircraft, which is a sad thing to see. However, the passenger gates from the terminals do join up quite nicely, I'm pretty sure, on the 787. So that is, again, another great thing. Now, the aircraft does have wing flex, so we can go into one of the wing views, and you'll be able to see if in a bit that we do actually have wing flex, and the aircraft look like it should have wing flex anyway. And I think the designs on the aircraft and the views we got here are quite good. You know, for an aircraft in itself, I don't think it's a terrible aircraft. And now, the cockpit. I think the cockpit's okay. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement, so a live cockpit is what I'd want to see in a 787 rework. So on the thing, on the infinite flight community, or the IFC, there's about 594 votes, one of them being myself, where Pilot Down 1 made the poll, saying, "Hello community, I didn't find any topics like this one. So the Dreamliner 787, it's a beautiful plane to fly, and he thinks it could have a small rework. Like I've said earlier, I think all this aircraft really would want currently is a small rework where it's an amazing plane. So a bit of gear tilt. I agree, a little bit of gear tilt would look good with more than the two main gears. So I'm not too sure if we currently have gear tilt, actually. We're just going to short final. Oh, so we've got gear tilt. So we're just quickly going to take off as well. And you should have seen the wings as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and go onto that wing view here, and you can see, there we go, we do have a bit of wings, and the wings do move. So that is progress there again, and we'll just bring the flaps down and let you watch that for a second. So we've got gear tilt, that's something we've already got. He'd like to add a live cockpit to every new and reworked planes, which is something which we're already doing. So that again is more progress there. However, we are yet to have a live cockpit in the 787, so I think a live cockpit is definitely something we want to see. I'm going to take this aircraft out for a little bit of a flight, I think, and we'll just see how well the physics handles, because that's a main thing that quite a few people complain about, it's the physics of the 787. Now, cabin views, so that will come under the interior section, and I think an interior in this aircraft to be something which would again take it to the next level. As you can see, we currently don't really have an interior, we only have that main cockpit. So I'm going to try and take off really stupidly, like this, without even moving the screen. I'm a professional at this by now. So that's really cheeky of me. I've literally taken off without even bothering tilting my iPad. I've just kept on and used the vertical speed, which is quite funny. So we're going to make a little right turn so I can just show you guys a bit more of this aircraft. So from what I can tell right now, the physics of the aircraft, I don't think it's too bad. I feel like at 4800, flaps 15, that might be why. But I feel like the HUD is a bit off, so perhaps on the climbing and descending, the aircraft's a little bit off. Right now it'd be useful to have that live cockpit, because right now it's a bit useless having the stickers. So I can definitely understand frustration and the wantingness of a live 3D cockpit here. So just doing some lovely right turns around it. We'll keep doing a few more. So a live cockpit, like I said, it's something we want. I think an engine rework is definitely something we want. Now, custom engine sounds is something I think would be really cool. If we could get custom engine sounds, I'd be very happy with that, and I think I'd love to see that in the near future, definitely, because I believe we have that on the 777. We've got custom engine sounds, and it's a really lovely addition. Now, apparently the nose gear, I've seen that the nose gear don't stand on the ground like you see in other aircraft, so I'm not too sure what they meant by that, but that was in fact in the poll as well, when it came under request, so that's quite interesting. So we've got lots and lots of aircraft, and there's lots of people requesting it, funny enough. So like I said, 594 votes is quite a lot. It's only really a third of what we can have. So in comparison to the A380, which has about 1,500 votes, we've only got a very small amount of votes actually wanted on this aircraft. So that is quite unfortunate for the aircraft itself. However, I don't think it's that bad. I think there's plenty of votes for a warrant for a rework to happen. And there is San Francisco Airport as well, which is where we took off from. Now, when will we be able to see this update? Would be a great question as well. That's a question I was thinking about before recording this video. If we were to get a 787 rework, when would it be? Would it be sooner or later? I personally think after the ERJs are coming out in flight, I don't think they're going to add another aircraft. Or if they do, I think it'll be the ATR-72, but nothing has been said on that aircraft in a little while now. So I'm not actually too sure. I think, personally, I think they're going to rework the A380 747 or hopefully the 767, because that aircraft needs a rework. And what view that is turning out to be there from the cockpit of San Francisco Airport. It's a lovely airport to fly as well. So I can see a 787 rework like happening in the background, a bit like when they've had two going on at once. I think it'd be a nice idea once the ERJs to come out to start a cockpit rework of the 787 like they did with the A320 family. Just give it a live cockpit for now and then work on an interior on a later date. I think that would be the way to go forward with the 787, as personally, like you see from the physics of the aircraft right now, there is almost no issue with it whatsoever. So I'm really happy with the way the 787 is. Now there's San Francisco Bridge over there, the Golden Gate Bridge as well for anyone interested. So 787 we can definitely see reworked in the near future, hopefully in the next year or so. But I can't really say anything because I don't know the timeline of updates and reworks within Infinite Flight, unfortunately. So if you were someone who wanted to get an idea on when this may ever happen, I am not the person to necessarily give you updated information. So the rework, they call it 787, needs just a soft rework with a few better textures, a few more liveries. I don't even think we need that many more liveries because, well, we'll go have a look at it right now actually with regards to the 787 liveries. We have so many liveries already, I think. Like that's the 787-8, here's the 787-9 and the 787-10. We could have some more on the 787-10, I feel like. But even that, the 787-9 and 8 have plenty. And I love the Etihad livery as well on the 787-10. Is it just me who loves this livery? I'm just going to get it in game now. But yeah, that's a lovely livery if you ask me. It's one of my favourite liveries on the 787s, that Etihad livery. Which you've got to have a, wow. I love this livery. I think it's really cool. If you don't agree with me, then yeah, sorry. So yeah, so like I said, a soft rework is definitely something I can see happening on the 787 in the nearby future. And there are quite a few new aircraft which would probably be, you know, able to have the 787 livery on it. So if you did enjoy this video and you found it reasonably helpful, hopefully it'll put down a bit of debate. I think the 767 should be prioritised before a soft rework, or maybe they should be done alongside, like we've had the F-18 and the ERJs, you know, working alongside at the same time. So if you did enjoy this, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Good night.
Find your way into this wonderland, cross the